If you hear your name being whispered at 3:17 a.m., no matter how familiar the voice sounds, don't answer. I learned that rule the hard way. It started a week after I moved into my new apartment. It was a small place, cheap rent, in a really old building. You know the kind, where the walls creak and groan even when no one's walking around. The first night was fine, the second too, but on the third night, I woke up suddenly. It wasn't a dream, there was no noise, it was just that feeling. The one that tells you something pulled you right out of a deep sleep. I checked my phone, 3:17 a.m., and that's when I heard it. A whisper. It wasn't loud, it wasn't aggressive, it was soft. Careful, Mark. My name. My blood ran cold. The voice didn't come from the hallway or the window outside. It came from everywhere at once, like the sound was inside the room, inside the walls, inside my own head. I didn't respond. I just lay there, completely frozen. After a few seconds, the whisper faded. In the morning, I tried to laugh it off. It was just sleep paralysis, or stress from the move. Maybe my imagination running wild, that's what I told myself. The next night, I stayed awake on purpose. I kept the lights on. I had the TV playing quietly in the corner. I watched the clock on my phone like it was counting down to doomsday. 3:16 a.m. My stomach twisted into a knot. Then, 3:17. The TV clicked off by itself. The lights dimmed to a low flicker, and the whisper returned. But it was closer this time. Mark, you hear me, don't you? It sounded exactly like my sister. The thing is, my sister died 3 years ago. My throat completely locked up. I couldn't breathe. Every single instinct screamed at me to say her name back, to answer her, but I didn't. Something in the room shifted. The air felt heavier, thicker, like whatever was speaking had leaned in closer to me. I know you're awake, it said, its tone gentle, almost caring. You always answer. I slammed my hands over my ears, pressing hard. The whispering stopped, but that's when I noticed something new. The silence wasn't empty anymore. It felt crowded. On the fifth night, I finally broke at 3:17. The whisper didn't say my name, it just laughed. A soft, controlled, patient laugh. Then my phone buzzed on the nightstand. A message from an unknown number. It just said, "Why won't you answer me?" My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone as I typed back, "Who is this?" The response came back instantly. "You know who I sound like." Another message followed a second later. "I can sound like anyone." Just then, my bedroom door creaked open, slowly, all on its own. I didn't wait. I grabbed my phone and ran into the bathroom, slamming the door and locking it behind me. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, pale, my eyes wide with pure panic, and then my reflection smiled. I wasn't smiling. The whisper came from the mirror, from my own smiling reflection. "You're doing so well," it said. "Most people answer by now." I couldn't take it. I just closed my eyes and slid down the wall to the floor. The next morning, as soon as the sun was up, I was online. I searched everything, old forums, forgotten message boards, anything I could find. And I found one thread, buried deep in a website from over a decade ago. The title was The 317 Voice. The post was short. It read, "If it says your name, it's learning you. If it copies someone you love, it's testing you. If you answer, it replaces them." There was no explanation, no solution, just one final sentence. "It can't enter unless invited." That night, I didn't stay home. I couldn't. I slept in my car, parked under a bright streetlight in a busy part of town. At exactly 3:17 a.m., my phone rang. No caller ID. I didn't answer. It went to voicemail. I listened to it a few seconds later. It was my own voice. "Why are you running from me?" it asked. I started the car and just drove all night, with no destination. The next day, I went back to the apartment, but I brought a friend with me. I didn't tell him the whole story, just that I'd been hearing strange noises and needed some backup, some proof that I wasn't just going crazy. We sat there in the living room, in total silence. We waited. 3:17 came and went. Nothing happened. For the first time in days, I felt my shoulders relax. I let out a breath I didn't even realize I was holding. Then my friend frowned. He looked over at me, his face pale. "Did you just say something?" he asked. "No," I replied, my heart starting to pound again. He swallowed hard. "Someone just whispered my name." I moved out the next morning. I didn't even pack. I just left. I changed my phone number. I moved to a new city, hundreds of miles away. But some things don't need a location to find you. Last night, in my brand new apartment, I woke up suddenly. My phone screen was already on, glowing in the dark. The time was 3:17 a.m. The whisper came from right beside my bed. It wasn't my sister's voice. It wasn't my voice. It wasn't anyone I recognized. It sounded like you, and it said my name the way only someone who knows you would. I didn't answer. I'm making this video instead, because now it knows how you sound, too. So if you ever wake up at 3:17 a.m. and you hear your name, don't answer, no matter who you think is calling. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.